Hello, my friends, and it seems that the fighters are fed up with what's happening today, so this situation is extremely difficult. That's why every day brings more shocking statements, and today's update contains a huge amount of unpleasant information. But on my channel, on the truth is told, so no matter how unpleasant it may be. And let's start with the direction of Kharkiv. So unfortunately, the Russians are successful here again, and every day they are advancing further. So today it was confirmed that the Russians have captured 3 more villages, and their advance is approximately 2 kilometers 300 meters. So now the battles are raging for the village of Lukyantsy and Gleboke. So the Ukrainian Armed Forces are doing everything possible to repel the attacks, but the Russians are numerous and the forces are not equal as before. The situation has also worsened in the Vovchansk area. So the occupiers are fighting for the village of Bugrativka. And the Ukrainian soldier Denis Yaroslavsky reports street fighting in Vovchansk itself. So just yesterday, everyone claimed that the situation was under control and only shelling of Vovchansk was being recorded, but later, even the general staff confirmed that battles are already taking place near the city. And they say that battles are ongoing for the border town of Vovchansk. The enemy has deployed significant forces, up to 5 battalions, and disregards losses. So only in killed, the invaders lost over 100 people in a day, and this time the enemy has tactical successes. And today everyone started reminiscing about how exactly a year ago they will build up a new road from Kharkiv to Vovchansk. Perhaps there was hope that the occupiers would no longer seize the territory. But Yusuf stated that Ukrainian intelligence knew about the Russians' plans, so everything was under control. So Ukrainian intelligence was aware of the plans of the Russian occupiers regarding the offensive in the Kharkiv region, said Yusuf, a representative. The enemy's actions in this direction began according to the schedule that was known. All necessary authorities and their leadership were informed. So, okay, well, if everything is going according to plan, so then there is nothing to worry about. The administration of Kiber Boroshno map, citing a soldier of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, revealed details of the advance on Kharkiv. So the situation around Kharkiv is protracted. The Russians were preparing long and well. Our political military, precisely in this sequence leadership, is not very effective, as always. More and more hopeful that it will somehow resolve itself. The Russians currently don't have the resources to storm Kharkiv, and the key word is currently. They'll hear a weakness, succeed around the city, increase efforts. Gradually, they'll press until they can bring artillery and take control of the near rear. The Russian tactic for crossing the border hasn't changed. It's very reminiscent of the advance in February 2022, when the columns dispersed and bypassed centers of resistance. Now only the scale are different and the enemy is experienced and seasoned. And the difference is that it's not columns with equipment, but infantry on foot, slowly. They've inflicted fire damage, started moving in small groups, and as soon as they find a gap, they crawl in and disperse along all roads, sometimes along trails, like ants. They keep going and don't stop. They almost don't react to drone attacks or missile drops. They wait out artillery fire and keep going, just keep going. When they encounter resistance, they gather strengths and special forces or reconnaissance move up and fierce battles begin. About air support, there is just a sea of reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles and lots of lancers. What's strange is the reaction of some defense units, or rather the lack of reaction to the lancers. Sometimes it seems that some commanders don't know about the existence of Lacente. At least by their actions it seems so. Déjà vu. There are hardly any frequency analysts. The danger from the sky is underestimated again. A bunch of people as if from another dimension. They have no elementary idea. Vovchansk will apparently be leveled. Personally, as a paranoid, I am very worried about the Sumy direction and the repeated attempt to cut off Kharkiv from Kiev. There is no reason to panic. War is what it is with the enemy's overwhelming forces, but it will be very difficult in the coming months. So overall, as you can see, the summer will be hot. And it's only spring outside, but it's already hot. So what do you think, please, about what's happening today? So will the Russians be able to retake the territory that the armed forces of Ukraine liberated during the counteroffensive? So share your thoughts in the comments. And friends, so there is one problem in this whole situation. So now all eyes are focused on the direction towards Kharkiv, but perhaps the Russians intentionally made this move to make it easier to advance on other fronts. So, and they indeed succeeded here. So, in fact, over the past week alone, the Russians managed to capture an additional 196 square kilometers, and that's critically significant. So in previous weeks it was around 20, 30 or 50 square kilometers. And now let's consider the situation on other fronts along the front line, and let's start with the area around Chasiv Yar. So here the occupiers conducted 16 attacks in a day. So they are storming Grigorivka, the Novy micro-district, so, and of course Ivanivska. The Ukrainian forces are not allowing them to consolidate, but the situation is extremely complex. In the direction towards Pokrovsk, so there were 30 assaults within a day, and the occupiers continue to assault Novo-Alexandrovka, the village of Sokil, Novopokrovsk, the outskirts of Umansk, Yasnobrodivka, and the vicinity of Netailove. So, because they've already captured most of the village, so they haven't achieved any new successes in a day, but the pressure is very strong, and it's evident that they are gradually making progress regardless. So the shelling continues at maximum intensity. In the direction towards Kurakhove, so the occupiers conducted 4 attacks on the northern part of Krasnohorivka, but they didn't achieve any new successes, and the front line remains unchanged. So elsewhere along the front line, shelling continues. In the direction towards Vuhledar, so the occupiers conducted 16 assaults on the villages of Vadyane, Staromayorsky, and Urozhaine. So it's evident that there is now significant activation on this front as well. And after the Russians advanced heavily near Vodyane, no new successes have been reported. In the direction towards Zaporizhia, so the occupiers conducted 2 assaults on Robotine, and shelling continues along the entire front line. However, the Ukrainian forces are successfully holding their defense here, and the line of engagement so remains unchanged. In the direction towards Kherson, so the occupiers didn't launch any new assaults on the village of Korinki, and so far there is only shelling both on the Ukrainian forces' foothold and along the right bank. So in the direction towards Siversk, the occupiers conducted 10 assaults on Bilogorivka, Verkhnyokamyanske, Vyimka, Rozdolivka, and in the vicinity of Spirne. So the situation remains challenging, but as before, the Ukrainian forces managed to maintain its defense, and the front line remains unchanged. in the direction towards Crimea. So the occupiers are maintaining their activity. 15 assaults per day, and attacks are underway in the forest near Crimea, and similarly assaults on the villages of Terny and Makiyevka continue, but the front line hasn't changed over the day despite all the difficulties. In the area around Svatovo, the occupiers are attempting to break through near Andriivka, Stelmachivka, and Berestove. So several attacks on each village have been recorded. However, there are no changes along the front line and in the Kupiansk direction. So the Russians are attempting to assault Petropavlivka, but all battles for Sinkivka have been unsuccessful and the front line remains unchanged. And it also appears that for the capture of new territories, North Korea has sent 3 million artillery shells to Russia. So Russia may have received around 6,700 containers of shells from North Korea. Such a quantity of containers is sufficient to transport approximately 3,152mm caliber shells, and the ammunition could have been sent to Russia since September 2023. So, it's also reported that Shoigu is leaving the position of Minister of Defense of Russia and will be replaced by Belousov. So, here is a brief about him. So, I don't know about subtitles, so I will translate for you. So, in the early 90s, I had such a close friend, Sergey Kushev. He gave a splendid classification of the types of business, which I still adhere to successfully, it seems to me. There are 3 types of business: nibbling, grunting, and hoofing. Nibbling is when they come in, eat, and run to another pile. Grunting is when there is a throw and everyone pushes there, and they fall down and push each other away. And hoofing is when a deer from under the ice picks up a piece of lichen, knocks with its hoofs for a long time. So, friends, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments on this matter. So, and that's all from me. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.